from the spark of my lighter.
Social media blows my mind. I just find it crazy that I know a guy from Australia who likes manga comics. He makes YouTube videos too, and I remember a couple years ago he actually issued a challenge between me and him on who could make the most YouTube videos of that year. We both did pretty bad, especially me who just privated all of his videos, so I guess I lost. I find it crazy that I could make a YouTube video with people from all over the world and put it all together into one video and then send it out publicly for the entire world to see. This is Mercedes from Venezuela, and she's just talking about her dog and her favorite video game system. I find it crazy that I just got a video response from one of my YouTube friends from over 4 years ago. She was one of my first YouTube friends.
I remember that he was like one of my first subscribers or something, and you know, like I've just seen him grow, and to Mike, wow, like props to you. I totally understand why you're like making those all private and that isn't you anymore, because that's exactly how I am.
I find it crazy how I could watch a guy from Lincoln, Nebraska from here in Fredericton, New Brunswick, and watch him vlog about his opinions or politics, or let his audience control his life for a while. That was pretty interesting. I thought it was interesting. I don't think Dan found it quite as interesting, to say the least. I find it crazy that he's organizing an event in New York where a bunch of different YouTubers come together and meet all in the same place, so you can meet person to person. So all of these people that you start to meet online all come together, and you just find all these interesting people from just vast different places, and they all come together, and you can make friends from all over the place and actually get to meet them in real life. I remember when Dan Brown announced that event, and he said that he was organizing it with fellow YouTuber Pat Does It. So I decided to check out Pat Does It's channel, and I started watching his videos on YouTube, and then I sent him a message on this thing called Twitter where it sends my message through the air and sends it from here to New York almost instantly, and then he's like, yeah, I'm going to VidCon too. I find it crazy that I actually did go to VidCon and I did see Pat Does It, and I actually ended up eating breakfast with Pat Does It. We talked about YouTube, and we talked about social media and VidCon. He came with his brother and his brother's friend who started a business called tgogo.com. It's just basically a website that you could completely customize a t-shirt. I find it crazy that a few months ago I was watching the YouTuber The Amazing Atheist, which I just love his videos, and I found it crazy that one day he gave a shout out to a YouTuber named Mr. Repzion, which I started watching. I've been watching for the last few months, and I love his channel because him personally, he's very open and honest, and he has very strong opinions, and he's not afraid to state his opinion no matter if people are going to say, you suck, I don't like you because I don't like your opinion. That doesn't stop him from stating his opinion. I was really excited because I found out he was going to VidCon, and so I again shot out like little tweet messages, replies at him. Like this technology is crazy. And through my phone while I was at the 7-Eleven buying some toothpaste, I was tweeting out messages from my phone while we were organizing meeting up together, and we ended up meeting up together at the IHOP, had a good conversation about YouTube, and we just kind of like talked about random stuff. But it's crazy that I watched a guy on YouTube and he gave a shout out to another YouTuber which I started watching, and heard he was going to this event, and then ended up having a conversation with him at an IHOP. Like, that's just something that wouldn't have happened just a few years ago, like even like 5 years ago. Like, this type of thing is very new. Like, this stuff didn't happen 10 years ago. Like, I'm not shooting Twitter little tweet messages, and it makes me curious about the future, just like how well connected we are just from the internet in the last few years, especially Facebook, Twitter, and whatever, and how new it is. It's like Facebook's only like 7 years old or something like that, and YouTube's only a few years old itself. I find it crazy that I met Zila, who I've been friends with on YouTube for the last couple years. I actually think he told me at VidCon, he told me that he started watching my videos about the time when I was doing the Ask Marino series. So that was like 2 years ago, and so that's how long we've known each other over the internet. And by the way, like, he's one of my favorite YouTubers, and it's just crazy because he's pretty young. Like, he's 15, 16. He's pretty young, but like really creative and really smart and hardworking. And he's great to talk to. Like, I met him at VidCon. He has like a really, he's just like, I don't know, really mature for a 15-year-old. I guess, like, I feel like I was like a lot different back then and a lot less mature. But his channel is sweet because he makes a video every week. And he has a lot of special effects. He actually takes a lot of time in his film work. I find it crazy that I was at VidCon and I was just in my room and I decided to go into the elevator down to the lobby. And as soon as the elevator doors opened, there's this kid on the other side. And he was giving me this like real funny look. Like, I almost knew like something went off in my head where I was like, does he recognize me? Or like, was? And then all of a sudden he goes, "Hey, you're Mike Marino," and shakes my hand. That was pretty sweet. Like, I got recognized in California. Like, it's sweet. And I checked out his channel. His channel is Bob Vlogging, and he's from Peru. I met some guy from Peru who recognized me in California. Like, how often does that happen? Seriously. But Bob Vlogging, he's great. I love talking to that guy. It was really great to meet him. I used to want to discover a bunch of new YouTubers, so I subscribed to a crap load of channels just so I could see new content coming at me all the time. Because to me, like, it doesn't matter where it comes from. It's almost better in a way to meet the people that only have a few hundred subscribers who are just there to talk to people and not just there to try to get a lot of subscribers, because most people who are just there to talk to people, they don't get a huge amount of views. Not everyone, like, video blogging isn't like a super high demographic. We're more of a rare demographic. There's a lot of vloggers, but like, it's rare that you're gonna be like Ray William Johnson or something. So yeah, social media is crazy.
Mike Marino videos. Perfect.